Starting with the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, I once again welcome you again to my lecture number 11 regarding the importance of educations. So, dear students, hope that everyone is fine and healthy and enjoying your best in your life. So, let us just start the lectures with a discussion of the importance of educations. As much we talk about it's important, that much is it less, because as you know, a very clear example looks to the world where they are and looks to us where we are. There is a vast difference you can see. So the prosperity of a nation is based on the difference between developed countries, the difference between underdeveloping countries like Afghanistan, which is in the process of development. So what are the difference between these two? Developed countries has focused very much on their educational sectors, and they have a very strong judiciary sectors, and justice are there. If you see in Afghanistan, there is no justice, there is no educational setup is being well progressing, and there is no judiciary system. So these three main parts are differentiating us from developed country. So see the word how it progressed, what sort of facility they are providing for their nations, for their societies. So that's because of the knowledge that they have gained throughout their lifetimes, and now that knowledge is practically being applied in different scenario of their life of the peoples. So that's why the life is so much easy, comfortable, peaceful, and advanced, and more enjoyable in the rest of the world except in Afghanistan. So that's why now let us give a hands to each others and support the educational systems, support the educational institutions, because closing the door of educational institutions, it means that you are opening the door of prisons and the door of darkness. When you're opening the door of prison and door of darkness in the society, then how would you expect a progressive society? So for the reason, it's very important. The education, it's a clear example how the other country progressed and how we are progressing. So that's why let us discuss about the importance of educations. Importance of education is a foundation for the development and progress of any society. If a society wants to progress, to grow in the right directions, their foundation, their basic is education. It is based upon which the whole building of a human development stands. Getting proper education is necessary for success in life, just like the food is necessary for the healthy human body. If you don't receive the food, the body destroy, the body functionality destroy. The same is the country, the society where there is education has collapsed, the system of education collapsed, the nation will collapse. So the collapse of education is the collapse of a nation. So the good education is constructive in nature, which is very helpful in future life. And if we want to change the world, we have the only source, we will have the only weapons that we have to focus on educations and increase in knowledge. That would help us in education sectors. Now there is some around about 15 reason that why education is important. Education can lead to global impact of, first is the global impact of educations around the world, that how this education impact the globalizations, the world and globes. Education can leave the long-standing impact on global developments. An educated persons always work for the benefits of the humanities. We all now acknowledge, we all confess and accept this, that the importance of education, knowledge and truth for promoting the word, the outlook, it is important to get education. Education produces citizens who are men of intellectuals and moral integrities. They are tolerant and wise. They aims at producing the ideal human beings, that these human beings do their best to provide a best an advanced society. Such kind of people is truly cultural, wise, and tolerant, and public spirited. It is only possible when the education is globally impact the societies. Globalization occurs, advancement in society occurs, words become connected with each others through the technological advancement. It's because of education. So why it's not important? It's important. And education promotes, improves, and enhances the national interest of a country and of a nation. Education helps in promoting the national interest of a country. The highly educated society has a critical intelligence of exceptional order. They can form independent inclusion from giving the facts. They can promote the system, economic system of a country better because of their economic knowledge. So the educated person have the wisdom and knowledge to work for the betterment of the country. They are from all walks of life work together in protecting the national interest of their countries. Because they are well educated, they are well qualified, they can do something the best for their country, and they will prove themselves as an assets to the country and societies. So that is why the educated people can work for the betterment of their country. Number 3 is level of moral and ethical values become improved. By getting of a proper education, we learn the values of a life, ethics of a life, how to interact and behave, what to do, what to not to do, what is wrong, what is right. We do differ all these things with the help of education. So education promotes quality of prospects. Any privilege, when primarily based on education's advantage alone, is certain to be greater ethical because it has to justify no unmerited privilege. Propose no ethical system which promotes magnificent feelings and or social snobbery and protects nothing which is injustice or ethically wrong. The aim of education, whatever the social machine, have to be no longer effective to disseminate expertise. However, additionally, to stimulate the thinking spirit among the people is possible by the upgrading the level of morality and ethical value in the society. So we learn the ethics. We are upgrading our morals and ethical values. It's because of educations, and these values are added a color to the life of societies. In a prosperous society, a life where there is equally treated in the society, that is possible by quality of educations. Number 4, education play a very essential and vital roles in the development of countries. It's very obvious. I said earlier that the difference between developed and underdeveloping countries because of education. So education is a center, a cohesive source of support and stability in the development of countries. Developing countries should have to recognize the importance of education and must focus on the development of high-valued educational system because a sound education system works effectively for sustainable development of the economy as well as a society. So a stable economy of a country is closely related to education. So the educated people of a country have more ability to become entrepreneurs, to become scientists, to become engineers, politicians, philosophers, writers, doctors, and it may become a deciding factor for the future economic development of any countries. So education is preparing the individual for their occupational roles to become doctor, engineers, and everyone do their best in their own field just to bring a prosperities and to bring a peace, to bring a stabilities in the societies, in the life of people, and to raise the level of standard of peoples. So that is why it plays a vital roles. And education increase in literacy rates. Literacy rate of a country also depends on education. Literacy refers to ability of a person to read and write. Literacy is very important not only for children but also for adults. Higher the literacy rate, higher will be the growth of the country. Archivadar ki سویه سواد در یک مملکت زیاد میشه اونقدر مملکت پیشرفت میکنه. تعلیم باعث زیاد شدن امو سویه فیصدی سواد می شود در یک مملکت که هر چقدر ما انسان‌های باسواد در افغانستان داشته باشیم همون قدر ما جامعه از مشکل مرفوع و دور هستند و روی به پیشرفت می روند. خب ما باید تحصیل به خاطر یک هدف نکنیم که هدف ما پیدا کردن پول باشه. تحصیل ما به خاطر بکنیم که هم اول در خود زندگی خود انفرادی و اجتماعی خود ما بلد زندگی افغانای ما تغییر بیاریم، یعنی که مثبت دائمی تغییر باید در بیهیویر ما و شما بیاره تعلیم. در حالی که افغانستان ببینین بسیاری مردم از بسیار ورزیده هستند، آموزنده هستند، بسیار علم را کسب کرده میفهمه، ولی اگر شما اعمالشان ببینین بیهیویرشان ببینین از یک انسانی که او بسیار هستند از اون بدتر هستند. خب اینجا ما تعلیم میکنیم به خاطر میکنیم که bring permanent changes in our life. So freshness of approach, a highly valid education system encourage the freshness of approach. It means that it always give a new way, new path to find a new solution for new problem which is arising in societies. A fresh approach. Education should bring up the best in the student. It should be able to bring new idea and concept. The education system should be innovatively, it should be equipped with the latest technology, and it should be benefit with the learners of students equally. So it should also teach them ethical value, enabling them to promote the human welfare, not self-glorifications by birth. No one is brilliant. By birth, no one is brilliant, no one is intelligent, but education can make him or her civilized and beneficial for the humanity. As I was mentioning here, the important point that when a baby is born and his mind is empty, he is only a flesh of meat in a biological being. Now, to make him the great and useful member of society, we have to educate that person. We have to make him civilized. Once the person become educated, once the person becomes civilized, then he will become a useful member of humanity and society. Education is as well very much important to enhance the creativity. Education is giving a path, paving a way and finding a solutions to create something new for every new phenomena, to be ready for all new things that people are facing with in the life difficulties. So education or educational activity also boosts the creativity of students. Education provides the opportunity for students to apply their skills in a very critical and a really creative ways and become more professionals. So the creativity of students is helping to provide them with opportunity in order to achieve their targets, in order to achieve their own goals. So that's why education is improving the creativity among the educators who are getting education. So they are bringing the creativity in that. If you do not if you do not be able to bring up changes in the mind of a person to be creative, it means it's not education. You have wasted the time of a students. So education should always bring a positivism, a positive aspect in the behavior as well as in the outlook of our words. You have to do something extraordinary to create something new, to bring an creativity to the life of the peoples. That is possible only with the help of educations. As well, 8 number, education produce good citizen. Education produce good citizen. Each education produce the civilized and well-organized person. The educated person incorporate good idea and ultimately go for betterment in life. It helps ones in getting out of one's comfort zone as that it's where the magic life lies. So education is helping to provide and produce a good citizen and to make them a useful member of society. And as well, education brings awareness of rights and responsibility. What's your rights and what's the responsibility being a member of a society? So this awareness would be given with the help of education. So the educated person is well aware of his rights and the rights of others and his responsibility being as a member of society. So an educated citizen is aware of consumer right to vote or right against exploitation by the employer. Moreover, he or she can raise voice against some wrong happening which is taking place around his or her. So education not only keeps well informed about rights, but also it teaches the responsibility being as a person living in society. It will make the person more responsible who is able to work for the wellness of the peoples. Number 10, education help us in the curiosity for learning the new things. So, an educated person has the curiosity for learning the new things in life. Ultimately, it becomes the passion to know and understand the things in a scientific way, that is having the objectivity. So, this passion is being cultivated with the help of education, just to learn the things new and be more passionate and be more tolerable persons to experience the new things in the life. So number 11, wisdom level. With the help of educations, wisdom level also increase. عقل इंसान दिगam पुख्ता में शबद. So the educational institutions should try to arouse intellectual curiosity, the appetite for more learning and developments of a critical spirit that brings the soundness and wisdom. So the wise person becomes an earnest seeker after truth and knowledge with an open minded. So is always looking for the truth and looking for the reality and looking for the honesty of wisdom. So the wisdom level of person become increased. He will never be cheated and defeated. It builds up the character of an individual. So education is helping in building the character of persons. The tutors, the instructor and teacher make the attempts to give their students a moral outlooks, that what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong, what is moral, what is immoral. So what is good, what is bad. See, all these things are being transformed with the help of educations to build up the character of a students, to make them a great persons for their family and for their societies. It balances the life of individuals. So educated persons enjoy a good life as education enables them to live a very characterful, happy, well-organized and balanced life. Education not only makes us able to learn about history, science, math, geography, biology and other subjects. However, it makes us very smart enough to learn how to live life and handle bad situations that we are facing in the societies. It not only specifically teaching about the subject, but it also teaches that how to lead a good life in a society where we are facing with the bad consequences, sometimes with a bad situation in our life. As well as it helps us to earn the livelihood. With the help of education, we can earn many income will come to us, because with the help, we will transform the knowledge to the other, and we will get income through that, and livelihood will properly go ahead. So education enables a person to learn a livelihood. It is true that employment does not depend on scholarly achievements alone. It depends upon the economic development of a country. The educated person can get a good job with a smart income to earn his livelihoods. And the fifth is, this education help us in future research, that what to do in future, what the missing area that we are having, what the problem we are facing, what the major problem that is being existing in society. We do the research in the future, that tomorrow we won't be engaged in such a disastrous situation and will have a miserable life. So education has importance in research work, and research is being done in different field of life is only due to the high level of educations. So in every field of life, there is specialized education and research work is done in the universities. So in the conclusion, we can say that education, our home is the first educational institution where we start learning. School education develops some subject related knowledge, scientific knowledge or some other skill, but we learn how to behave with others and learn moral value, that is at home. So education is the only key to success in the life of an individual. It is a continuous and secure process of achieving goals, which not only help us in obtaining knowledge, but it also teaches how to live a successful life. And education starts at birth, and one can gain it till the ends of life. Its main aim is to develop a healthy and prosperous society which possesses a knowledge, rights, awareness, and many other qualities. In providing a good level of education play a very important roles. Whatever we learn through a proper process, it goes with us throughout the life, and which we gain, it passes us from one stage of life to the next generation. So a good education is always helping an individual in almost in all walks of their life to guide them in the right directions. So finally we can say that education is an unbelievable power. The proper and right use of this power can keep us away from all evils and mischievous activity, and it make us very wise. We become a problem solver, and we become a responsible citizen. It also keeps our mind calm and peaceful, and enables everyone and individual to live in a balanced, happy life. So the value of education is too much. Again, once I have to tell you, if you are closing the doors of a school, you're opening the door of a prisons, and you're opening the doors of a darkness, and you're opening the doors for criminal activity, and you're opening the doors for insecurity, you're opening the door for instability, you're opening the door for many disasters. But if you're opening the door of school, it means you're closing the door of prison, the door of ignorance, the door of darkness, the door of disastrous condition, the door of many doors will be closed with the help of education. So let us unite with each other, go ahead with the right in the right direction to achieve a right quality of education, that we could benefit our own self as well as the society, because we are the responsible member of society. ما مسئولیت به جامعه داریم، در این ما مسئول هستیم به جامعه که جوابدهی باشیم. به این خاطر we need to go ahead for the education. We should not only confine and limit our education set up to only master or bachelors. We have to go for a PhD in postdoctorate and specialization, that we could better do the research to find a very better solution for the problem which is existing in Afghan society. So thank you for being with me once again. Wish you all the best. May Allah keep you away from all disastrous condition and mischievous action of the country, from the people, and keep me in your prayers once again. Till then, by another lectures that I am going to appear. Allah Hafiz. Wish you all the best.